This show, man, it is so well written. It is so well done. Talk to me about being part of it.
You know, I'm having a ball. This is, as you know, the beginning of their second season, and I joined the beginning of the second season. So we're now 15 episodes in, and you know, I feel like I hit the jackpot in terms of the cast, in terms of the people, who these actors are, the good people. We have a ball working together. I love the fact that it's kind of complicated. You know, it respects the audience, and you have to think to kind of watch it and track it. But it's, you know, it's in its second year, and it's growing and evolving at the same time. One thing I want to mention that people should know is that we're going from a 2 timeline to 1 timeline.
When you look at the topics this show touches on, obviously in the first episode, I don't want to give too much away, but these operatives are asked to do things that they may or may not be comfortable with.
Yeah.
How much of that do you feel really plays into real life defending the country? How much do operatives and people in our defense have to actually go above and beyond?
Listen, it's completely real life. My father was in intelligence in the Army, and we have a tech advisor here on our show. And you know, the intelligence community and the men and women of this community, I see, must be respected. They really are. I heard somebody say last night, the crown jewel of what makes our country tick. You know, it's not perfect, and we can go back to the weapons of mass destruction with Bush and all that. It's not perfect. But these people literally put their lives on the line, and that's what I love about this show. I mean, we can say this first episode that comes back on the 23rd is about the art of seduction, and how you have to put your own mind and your own familial ties, your own relationships aside sometimes. And if you have to sleep with someone to get information, to get intel, well, then so be it.
On the table read, I have to tell you this very funny story. When we were reading this script, I stood up, and everyone was shocked. What is she doing? And I said, I object. My character does not get to sleep around, and that is not fair. And everyone was laughing like crazy. It is a very interesting episode. I was just saying to my colleagues, I'd like to call it Kill or Kiss. The characters have never been
That's actually a hell of an idea. That's a hell of an idea for its own show right there, like on Bravo, Kill or Kiss.
I'll cast you on the
I
show.
want to host Kill or Kiss.
You want to Kill or Kiss?
Oh my God. Terrorism is arguably the most relevant and talked about item in government today. Your show tackles it head on. Talk to me about being part of a project that touches on such an important issue.
I think what I would like to say today, because people always want to try to resume what our show is about. And if you want to say that in a simple way, yes, there's always a terrorist, and we're always trying to find who she or he is. From a more interesting perspective for me, to be able to portray so many characters that come from different around the world, different parts of the world, from South Africa, Pearl Tusi, Russell Tovey, Britain, Aaron Diaz, Mexico. You know, our American cast, Jake and Johanna, and you know, Alice, the great Blair Underwood, Tracy, who is originally, I think, from Nigeria. I'm half Egyptian, half Palestinian. Priyanka is Indian. The simple fact that they cast those people on one show and brought them together to step into characters' feet and tell their stories, and all those people are together, and they have to figure out how can they work together to save the world. I think that's the best. How can I say? That's the best way I can use to resume why our show is so important when you talk about terrorism. Because in my opinion, the most dangerous thing when you talk about terrorism is to be ignorant.
This show has become a hit. Why do you think it has become a hit?
I think it's the most diverse show on TV. I think it's showing multi-layers of the human psyche. I think it challenges that, but not in a kind of pounding it way. It's in a very entertaining way. Well written, great storylines, great characters. I think everyone can choose their favourite character like that. You can choose your favourite Spice Girl. Whatever your taste, there's a character there for you.
I love how you compared the Quantico operatives to Spice Girls.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's the tagline.
Girl power.
We are the government Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Speaking of diversity, you obviously play a gay character.
Yes, I do.
I love seeing that on network television. And especially, this is not an industry where you think of gay or some. So talk to me about having a character like that makes a statement on a hit show on a network like this.
I just think it's an important statement to have a network show with an openly gay character who isn't it doesn't affect anything about him apart from the fact that he happens to be gay. He's playing a James Bond, Thomas Crown Affair, talented Mr. Ripley kind of mix, and he's gay on top of that. And that's something that I don't think's really been shown in art before, that medley of information. I think it's important that it's out there, front and centre, prime time, with no agenda.
Your character, boy, she is cunning and manipulative, and she just, she's pulling all the tricks out. Talk to me about bringing this lady to life.
Shelby's a little bit crazy. She's so different from what I thought she was in like season 1, episode 1, but I love that. She's developed so much. I think Shelby has a darkness to her that wasn't clear from the get-go, but you know, she was kind of like Monica Lewinsky for a while. She was publicly shamed, and I think she's really enjoying being able to create this different persona. I think she's really liking being Jane. I mean, like, oh, all of that's in the past, and it's like, who am I? And she's a little cuckoo.
You seem like the nicest person. What is it like playing someone evil? I'm always fascinated because I'm like, if you're nice and you get to be this like bad person, is it fun?
Are you saying Shelby's a bad person?
Shelby is a bad person.
Shelby, you can't judge your character when you play her, so I have to justify everything in my head, like why she's doing this.
Do you become the person? That's like, are you at home and you're like, okay, now I see that she's doing something bad, but I can justify it, and now I've got to become it? Like, how does it all work?
No, I'm not method. I think that would be really difficult to maintain a relationship and be like that. No, I just, you break it down and you try to figure out why she is the way she is, and you can't play a character that you're judging. And I think Shelby, she's been alone her whole life, and she's really lonely, and I didn't have that upbringing, so I'm like, okay, I can maybe I can see why you'd be like this. I don't know, it's hard.